day, everyone. I am April Nicole J. Unabia. I am your second reporter, and I am going to continue our report, which is the global food security. Genetically modified food and food security. Food security exists when all people have physical and economic access to sufficient, safe, and nutritious food. Unfortunately, food security does not exist for a significant proportion of the world population. Around 900 million people are undernourished, meaning that they are undersupplied with calories. Many more suffer from specific nutritional deficiencies, often related to insufficient intake of micronutrients. Genetically modified crops are sometimes mentioned in this connection. So, what is genetically modified food? A food produced from plants or animals whose DNA has been altered through genetic engineering. The advent of commercialized food like genetically modified seeds gave impetus to fast and high yielding crops like maize and corn. So, genetic engineering is the process of manipulating an organism's genes directly by, for example, transplanting DNA from other organisms. So, there are three possible pathways how GM crops could impact food security. The first one is GM crops could contribute to the food production and increases thus improve the availability of food at global and local levels. In regards to the first pathway, genetically modified technologies could make food crops higher yielding and more robust to biotic and abiotic stresses. This could stabilize and increase food supplies, which is important against the background increasing food demand, climate change, land and water scarcity. Lack of public acceptance is one of the main reasons why this has not yet happened more widely. Secondly, GM crops could affect food safety and food quality. So, concerning the second pathway, crops with new traits can be associated with food safety risk, which have to be assessed and managed case by case. But such risks are not specific to genetically modified crops. Long term research confirms that genetically modified technology is not per se more risky than conventional plant breeding technologies. On the other hand, genetically modified technology can help to breed food crops with higher contents of micronutrients. A case in point is golden rice with provitamin A in the grain. Such GM crops have not yet been commercialized. Projections show that they could reduce nutritional deficiencies among the poor, entailing sizable positive health effects. Lastly, GM crops could influence the economic and social situation of farmers, thus improving or worsening their economic access to food. So the third pathway relates to genetically modified crops used by smallholder farmers in developing countries. Half of the global GM crop area is located in developing countries, but much of this refers to large farms in countries of South America. So those are the three possible pathways on how genetically modified crops could impact food security. Transforming agri into suburbs, giving up farming for housing. Some rice farmers in Banay-Banay, Davao Oriental were already starting to sell their rice fields and willing it to be converted into house lots. Some farmers have been observed to convert their land into real estates and live farming. So, urbanization has been underpinned by the rapid growth in the world economy and in proportion of gross world product and of workers in industrial and service enterprises. Globally, agriculture has met the demands of this rapidly growing urban population, including food that is more energy, land, water, and greenhouse gas emission intensive. But hundreds of millions of urban dwellers such suffers undernutrition. So the key issues with regards to agricultural and urbanization are whether the growing and changing demands of agricultural products from growing urban populations can be sustained while at the same time underpinning agricultural prosperity and reducing rural and urban poverty. Farming, getting unattractive to farmers' children. The interview with the key informants revealed that most of the children of working age of these farmers do not like working in their farms anymore. The first principal challenge identified in youth is insufficient access to knowledge, information and education. Poor and inadequate education limits productivity and acquisition of skills, while insufficient access to knowledge and information can hinder the development of entrepreneurial ventures. So, promoting financial products catered to youth, mentoring programs, and startup funding opportunities can all help remedy this issue. Encouraging youth to group themselves into informal saving clubs can also prove useful in this respect. So that would be all. Thank you very much for listening.